hustling silly bits too. Having a blast bringing our show to you. They rant, they rave, they won't behave. Rasslin fans, come out your cave. It's time to BS and misbehave. Talking wrestling, time to go. Ring the bell and start the show. Talking wrestling, time to go. Ring the bell and start the show.
Hello, and welcome in for another episode of Talking Wrestling with Pondwater and Amy. I'm Pondwater Dave.
I'm Amy.
There you go. You have to introduce her tonight. We're just going to jump right into it.
That's right. How you feeling?
We're going to talk about my favorite wrestler tonight, Amy. I'm excited.
I know.
I went to the closet. Got my David Von Erich t-shirt.
I like it. Looks good.
Yeah. The Yellow Rose.
Feeling better? I know.
Well, much better.
Good.
Yeah. I crashed last night. I apologize to everybody. We advertised last night. We wanted to do this on what was the 42nd anniversary of David's death yesterday. I got attacked by migraines, and I mean, it was bad.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I had a hard time driving back. I had a hard time driving home.
Oh no.
But everybody knows I'm not physically able to throw up, but I can go through the motions. And it was one of those migraines that brought on nausea.
Oh, ugh,
it was bad. But I slept in my chair for a couple hours last night, and
do you have medicine to take? Do you take
just over the counter? I used to keep
like Excedrin or something.
I'm trying to think what they called it back then. Imitrex.
Mm-hmm.
I used to have Imitrex for it, but I got it under control with Excedrin migraine, and I hadn't had a bad one in a long time. When I woke up, I had I could feel pressure behind my eyes, but not pain. So, it
couldn't be with the weather that we have. It's 70, 0, 32, snowing, sunny, raining.
I could have ate something that triggered it.
Well, that's true. Could have, yeah, because we were all stuck in the house. So it's like, or the first time you got to get out, it was 72 degrees here yesterday.
Oh, I've been wearing shorts to work all week.
I mean, is that not the craziest thing? Like, we were literally out of school for the last week of January because the roads were so bad. They didn't want anybody getting out. Now you got to remember, I'm from Kentucky, so we don't deal with snow here. So everybody just stay home. I know up in Allison Faye, who lives up north, as you know, she had the exact same thing I did, basically. And, it was business as usual for her.
Yeah.
Up north, it's way different down here in the South. We just don't do that right. And Willie reminded me, I haven't been on in a couple of weeks because
you haven't.
My son is part of a co-ed cheer team, and they had their national competition the last weekend of January, 1st of February, and his team placed second in the nation. Very proud of them, as you can imagine. It was very stressful as a mom watching your child. You just like, don't mess up, please don't, because he's like lifting girls and he's holding them and doing all kinds of stuff. But they did very well.
Sounds horrible.
Very proud of them. I know. I bet that's what Ike told you, right? It's horrible. It's horrible.
What a horrible existence.
Exactly. But yes, but I was really happy I was a little disappointed because obviously we were leaving our terrible weather. The competition was in Florida. But when we got to Florida, they were getting the Arctic blast. It was 40, 35 degrees in Florida. So it was just like, it wasn't what I was hoping it would be. Nice.
You picked a hell of a week to go.
No kidding. Oh, well. You just do what you got to do for your kids, right?
Right.
That's what we do.
Stephanie had everybody knows the lovely Tep, Mrs. Pondwater. She had yesterday, our state representative, Mrs. Stephanie Foster, invited Central Hines, Stephanie and her Pee Wee team and the girls team
Yay!
because they won their championship, and they invited them to come to the state capitol. They gave them a tour.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Fed them lunch. Had Raising Cane's brought in for them, and took them into the Senate, and the state Senate recognized them. And then they went to the House of Representatives. The state senator walked around with them. The mayor of Raymond went with them, and
how wonderful. Now, how old are they? The fifth graders?
They're all fifth graders.
Fifth graders. What a wonderful experience that they got to have. Bravo for your state representatives and senators to do that for them.
I think I've told you that, we don't talk politics on here, but I firmly believe there are no public servants anymore, just career politicians. But but Miss Stephanie Foster is an exception. She is truly a public servant. She goes way out of her way to celebrate everybody in her district. Everybody. She's got no ties other than that school being in her district. She's got no ties to that school. But
that's awesome.
I mean, if you'll check her social media, she's constantly celebrating the victories. She's there. She's very, very involved in our community. And they gave him a proclamation. Yeah, they gave him a proclamation, and it's framed, and but they went to the legislature, and the Speaker of the House in Mississippi he clanged the gavel, and one of the little boys yelled guilty. And everybody laughed except the little boy's mama.
Yeah, really, like
So the speaker goes, "Who said that?" And they all pointed at that kid, and he goes, "That was epic, man. That was epic." And then he hit it again, and then he recognized them, called them out, recognized them for their accomplishments, and that's something those kids are never going to forget.
Exactly. And you never know, that could be something that just pushes someone a little bit further, gives them that pat on the back.
Well,
that's awesome.
We're so divided, and all we hear is bad news on, people can't get along, and it's always a struggle, and everybody hates everybody. But this is a story that happened yesterday about somebody that's trying to make a difference, a positive difference for everybody.
Exactly.
There was no bipartisanship. There was nothing. It was just, I couldn't tell you. I don't know what party she represents. She's for the people, and she's got a, she's serving, and you can't beat that. I just wanted to shout her out on here. And I mean, she gives me faith that there may be more like her.
Hey, I think that's really wonderful. Speaking of things that are just crazy in the news, first off, I don't know if you've heard, but James Vanderbeek died.
Yeah, I didn't even know he was sick. I didn't realize that he had cancer, but 48 years old.
I think maybe he might have kept that. I mean, I'm not saying he did. I have no idea, but I was
told that he announced it, but I didn't know.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't either. But man, 6 kids.
Yeah, he was selling off all of his collectibles to try to fund his cancer treatment.
Oh God, don't tell me that. That's even more heartbreaking. 6 kids, 48 years old, younger than me. He was in this is terrible. I don't tell a lot of people that I like this movie because it's just, I don't know, but Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back. Have you ever seen
the first thing I thought was, I wonder if he got his part filmed for the sequel, because they're doing a sequel.
Yes, but
I know that sounds horrible, but that is one of my all-time favorite movies.
It is mine. I really, there are certain parts I'm not a huge fan of, but oh my gosh, I love Jay and Silent Bob. They are something else. But anyway, I thought about him as being, Silent Bob or whatever they called him in the movie, but
they called him the Dawson, and he tried to say his name, and all they would call him was the Dawson.
Oh, I love it. I love it. And they would, yes, Pacey. Anyway, tragic, so sad. Just did not know that. Dude from 3 Doors Down, Brad Arnold, again, did he die of cancer too? I think he did. I don't even know. That's terrible.
Hey, and on another note, it turns out Kurt Cobain didn't kill himself. He was murdered.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
What? Who? What?
It's been changed from suicide to homicide.
Are you serious? Who do they?
Yes.
Why do they think? What?
Because
Okay.
a private investigator has proved there was no way possible for that man to have killed himself.
So what? So are they going to open it up, or is that just on his death certificate now?
I just saw it yesterday.
Okay, we're going
And
to have to
the
investigate
investigator,
that more.
I mean, the investigator was showing the gun that he supposedly killed himself with. And I mean, he had my arms. It was a 6-foot shotgun. Like he's trying to prove it was physically impossible. And it's a whole deal.
Interesting. Well, I am already on one case. I can't worry about Kurt Cobain's killer yet until I find out who has taken Nasty Guthrie. So that is, if you have seen any of this saga, have you seen any of it? Have you
I've heard about it
at all? Oh my
just
Lord.
bits and pieces. I don't watch the news because it's depressing.
True.
But I'm familiar with Savannah Guthrie. I'm a fan of hers when I watch the Today Show.
It is the wildest thing. We've got this poor 84-year-old woman that someone has kidnapped. There are ransom notes, but they don't think they're not for sure how legitimate they are. Then they've got this video of an intruder that apparently took her, but like it's been crazy. They detained somebody last night, but they let them go, and now they think they found a glove about a mile and a half away. Like it's just, I know that it has got to be super difficult for the police to be doing basically all their work is in front of the camera because there's 24-hour news is just like right there in their face. And I know they're going to make, I mean, of course you're going to go down one road and it's not going to be the road you should be going down. So you got to go, but they're doing this in kind of like real time. And like, everybody's like,
it's like they're broadcasting to the guy that did it. It's like, to me, it seems like whoever did it is finding out the progress as it happens.
Well, or just and everybody has their own thoughts and they're questioning and like, why does this? And of course, I would assume, which I think it's a very good assumption, the police is not just telling us everything they know. I'm sure there's definitely things that they're not releasing, things that they're working on and stuff. But, you just have all these questions, but it is just.
Well, sometimes they release false information. So if they get a tip that points out that, no, that's not what happened, then they know that's a legitimate tip.
Right.
Or because even when I got shot, the Crime Stoppers video put some things in there to catch, because they try to weed out who's just trying to tell them anything to try to get a reward.
Right. They did Crime Stoppers for that. I guess they never found.
Yeah, they made me look really bad. It looked like my girlfriend showed up at closing time. They made the girl that came at closing time look like my girlfriend.
Oh, well, they never did find him, did they?
No.
Isn't that wild?
Mm.
But you're
what
right.
A depressing episode of Talking Wrestling today.
No, yeah, really.
Well, I mean,
now we're going to talk
about a great wrestler, but I don't think there's a real happy ending to the story.
Hey, I will say our friend Kevin got to come home.
Yeah.
Davenport. He's home on his farm, and we're really, really happy for him to be able to be home. And I know Pondwater and I, we just keep thinking about you, Kevin, and we're praying for you and your family and friends and everyone that loves you. And I'm very happy. I hope that being home it's that little bit of healing, that you just can't get anywhere else. And so I really, really am thinking of you, and we'll keep praying for you. So I just wanted to drop that little. That's uplifting. That's uplifting. But let's talk about David, not Pondwater.
Well,
but the other great David from the state of Texas.
We're gonna.
He didn't say I said you were great, and you just let it go.
Oh, I knew you were talking about David Von Erich.
No, I said the other great David from the great state of Texas.
There we go.
David Von Erich. See, I try to compliment you.
Well, Amy wants to play trivia first
And
because
David, go
she
ahead.
don't want y'all to learn anything about him so you can answer the questions.
And Pondwater is not allowed to play until
Yeah.
I give him maybe I might let him answer a question or two because that's no fun.
I'd be
He's gonna
embarrassed
sit
if I
there.
couldn't, as much as I've looked at what he did in Florida.
Well, I mean, I was like, I could have made some really good questions. Like, give me the time limit, the amount of time spent in the ring on, March 20th, 1982. In
That sounds
this
like
particular
you.
arena. I did not, but I could have. I thought about
All
it.
right.
No. All right, let's.
It's time for Amy's trivia. Can you hang? How big's your brain? It's time to play.
All right, so this is all trivia about David Von Erich's short but very impressive run in Florida. On what date did David Von Erich initially debut as a heel in championship wrestling from Florida? We have January 15th, 1981, December 26th, 1981, March 10th, 1982, or was it July 4th, 1980? Do you have a guess, Pondwater?
I know the answer. As a matter of fact.
No, not yet. We want to let our audience mull
No,
about it,
I'm just
think
telling
about
you
it.
that was. I guess that.
Don't say nothing because that could be another question.
Okay. Well, I mean, you're talking about his debut. He debuted before the answer to this question.
As a heel. The answer is as a heel.
Well, his first time in was against Tim Horner, and I think Tim Horner was a babyface.
No, I don't know. I wasn't there.
But for the purposes of this, we're going to assume that Tim Horner was not a babyface.
That was a dark match. That was a dark match. I don't know what that was.
Okay.
I don't know what that was.
Willie Thornbrew's riding with us. Sam popped in to say hi. He's going to go eat and come back. Willie Buck's here. What's up, Willie Buck?
Hello. We got our two Willies.
We need somebody to answer this trivia question.
Just throw a date. Throw an A, B, C, or D up there. January 15th, 1981. December 26th, 1981. March 10th, 1982. Or July 4th, 1980. And I can't help it, Deej. You might be there, and so you might have secret information about Tim Horner and his wrestling, but I'm just saying this is what I got from my research.
Okay, cool. But I know the answer. Nobody's answering, so I will go ahead and tell you that it's December 26th, 1981.
That is correct. It is December 26th, 1981. Very good. Very good. Makes sense after Christmas. Those are always big shows, right? Did Championship Wrestling from Florida, did they have Christmas shows, or was this a Christmas show? You know what I'm saying?
This is probably their Christmas show. And do you have a question about this match?
I do.
Then I will not answer it. I will not give you further information about this match.
Okay, good deal. That's very good. That's why you weren't allowed until I said answer. You can answer. No.
All right.
All right. We are going to do the next question. What title did David Von Erich win soon after arriving in Florida? Did he win the NWA Florida Heavyweight title? Was it the NWA Florida Television Championship? Did he win the NWA Southern Heavyweight Championship, Florida? Or was it the NWA North American Tag Team Championship? So you got 4 great options. What title did David Von Erich win soon after arriving in Florida? And I will say, because I know David, why do I keep calling you that? Pondwater wants to tell you is that He won this championship when he debuted on December 26, 1981. I don't know if that helps anybody in the chat. Got some mulling, got a lot of people thinking about it.
Yeah.
What title did he win? Basically, when he debuted in Florida. Because also, you don't know. He might have debuted with a partner. He could have won those tag team championships. You never know. You don't know what he did.
Nobody's guessing.
Nobody wants to guess? Okay, Pondwater.
That's the NWA Southern Heavyweight Championship. Is it okay if I say who he defeated?
Yes.
He defeated Jack Briscoe, former World Heavyweight Champion Jack Briscoe.
Yep.
They say the Florida version because there was a Southern Heavyweight Championship in the Tennessee territory that was recognized as the AWA version.
Mm.
The one in the AWA Southern Championship was a 7-plate belt. The NWA version looked just like it, but it was a 5-plate version. There's your little belt trivia there.
Okay, a little extra bonus trivia. David Von Erich's heel stable in Florida included which of these wrestlers? So he's in a stable. Who else was with them? Was it Kevin Sullivan, Kendo Nagasaki, Ric Flair, or Ole Anderson? David was in a heel stable in Florida, and one of these wrestlers was included. Who was he in the stable with? Kevin Sullivan, Nagasaki, Flair, or Ole Anderson?
Well, his tag team partner / mentor is not listed here.
Very good. You need to be quiet.
Okay.
Don't be thinking out loud.
All right.
Don't think out loud.
They're not answering in the chat tonight.
Nobody wants to take a guess? I promise you don't get anything if you get it or if you don't get it.
Willie's guessing A, Kevin Sullivan.
That's a good guess.
That's a good guess. I'm going to guess B. I'm going to go ahead and get, because I don't know the answer to this. I'm going to guess B, Kendo Nagasaki.
Mm-hmm. How come? What are you going with him for?
Because I want to say that when I reviewed David's Florida run, I don't remember him crossing paths with Kevin Sullivan.
Okay. And I would say that your logic is correct. It was Nagasaki.
All right.
Do you want to tell us who else was in that group? Can you name anybody else in that group?
I can't. Oh, was Pac-Sun there?
Nope. It was Jimmy Garvin.
Oh, I did know that.
And they were under the guidance. Do you know who the manager was?
J.J. Dillon.
J.J. Dillon.
Yeah, because I've got it on my notes when we get to that part of it was nothing of note, and they actually lost the match. But the fact that David tag teamed with JJ, he tag teamed with JJ and Jimmy Garvin, and I think that it wasn't too long after David came back from Florida that Jimmy Garvin showed up. So that's where
exactly that's
how it all
cool,
how all that tapestry comes together. I've got some fun factoids sprinkled in, so.
I cannot wait. I cannot wait.
There's Allison Faye.
Hey, sweetie. We were talking about you earlier about how you're northern.
Can I sum it up?
Yes.
When it snows, you can handle yourself, and when it snows in Kentucky, Amy cannot.
They tell us to stay home, stay put, don't go nowhere. All right, next.
All right.
Which of the following was not a Florida opponent David faced during his heel run? Was it Barry Windham, Mr. Wrestling 2, Sweet Brown Sugar, or the Fabulous Freebird?
Y'all are going to have to guess at this one.
Who did he
I can't
not
answer this one.
face? Yes.
Looks like T-Weave's rolling with us.
Hello.
The TNA Top 10.
But yes, which of the following is not
Terry's
a Florida
guessing.
opponent?
Allison went with C, Sweet Brown Sugar, who was a friend of mine in the later years of his life. Skip Young. But T-Weave nailed it with the Fabulous Freebirds.
I will say I do. It is Sweet Brown Sugar. That is a good name. I had Target. Don't be rubbing it in that you have a Target that can send you stuff.
That must be nice. I have to drive to mine.
No kidding. It is the Fabulous Freebirds. Very, very good.
Yeah, David actually beat Barry Windham on television.
Well,
Well, he beat.
We'll get into it a little bit, but let's go to the next question because I think I think we're going to be getting into it whenever we.
Okay.
You can order delivery to your house. Shut up, Terry. No, you don't need a store, but you have a store, and so you know how we feel about that. In early 1982 in Florida, which veteran mentor regularly teamed with David Von Erich? Was it Jack Briscoe, Dory Funk Jr., Buddy Rogers, or Harley Race? In early 1982 in Florida, which veteran mentor regularly, that's a hard word, teamed with David Von Erich? Was it Jack Briscoe, Dory Funk, Buddy Rogers, or Harley Race?
Allison went B, Dory Funk Jr.
Terry copied.
Well, Buck, you want to get yours? You want to get your answer in before I reveal the answer?
Go ahead and tell us. Yay!
Dory
It
Funk
was.
Jr.
Yay! Oh, Willie O. Jack Briscoe. Oh, both of them put A.
No, it was
Willie's went A.
It was Dory Funk Jr.
Yes, it was. And the last question is a fill in the blank.
That's okay.
What were you going to say? I'm sorry.
I was just going to say that together they defeated Jack and Jerry Briscoe on television for the tag titles, and the win is one of the move they used to win. It was just a Dory double leg Jerry, and David put his leg through the ropes and put his foot on Dory Funk's butt to give him leverage to get the pin. It was such a cool. It was so simple. It was genius.
You gotta love it. Exactly. It doesn't have to be, flip flop and fly, right?
Yep. And I have a replica of that belt, but I'm not going to pull it off the shelf.
No. We don't need to do that. Don't need to bring everything down, right?
Yeah.
All right, fill in the blank. This is our last question. Kerry Von Erich later joined his brother David in Florida as a heel.
Hang on. Look at this.
She is a genius. She is literally a rocket scientist.
Look at you go. The ghost of Gino Hernandez will be there shortly to deliver you absolutely nothing.
But Kerry Von Erich later joined his brother David in Florida as a heel in 1982, portraying a blank along with David's loudmouth, spoiled brat character. So what kind of character did Kerry Von Erich portray as a heel accompanying his brother David, who was a loudmouth, spoiled brat character?
Yeah, if you can find this on YouTube, you'll realize that Kerry Von Erich had no business being a heel. He was absolutely horrible as a heel because he was too nice.
I think it is. I know some people like being a heel, but I don't
He
think
tried. And
I don't think I'd like being a heel.
are you trying to
personally.
ask, did he knock somebody's character off?
No, like I'm asking for like an adjective of like what that character was. Like David was the loudmouth old brat. What did Carrie portray? Like what was he acting like he was?
God's gift to women. He was trying to be Ric Flair.
Oh, okay.
He,
Well,
I mean, it struck me as he was trying to do a Ric Flair promo, and it was horrible.
okay.
Allison saying goody two shoes.
But he was a heel. Carrie came, believe it or not, Carrie came to Florida to be a heel along with David
Yeah. He brought Fritz in, and Fritz was actually the president of the National Wrestling Alliance
at that time.
at that time.
Well,
Because
go ahead, David. I'm sorry.
because he was getting a title shot, and it was a whole thing.
He came in self-absorbed muscle man,
Okay.
big muscles, vain, self-absorbed. So ladies man, kind of like you said, I'm God's gift to women kind of thing. But he had the muscles to go.
Yeah, I mean, all I can say about Kerry as a heel is that he was an incredible baby face.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they were on there and they had their roach clips stuck to their hair, and it was just
What? They had their what?
roach clip. I got pictures.
I
when
have
we
no
get it,
idea. What is that? What are you talking about?
I'll
I'm being very
point it out
serious.
when I get to the
Okay.
picture.
Okay. I mean, I got to put my glasses on so I can see it.
Well, you'll see it. It's just a clip that they call it roach clips. I guess everybody used to use them to hold their joint, but it had a feather on it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
They
I
call
know
them
what you're
roach
talking.
clips.
Okay. Did you know this little bit of trivia about Forrest Gump?
I did not know that.
That's pretty cool. He was a pro wrestler. That's interesting. And they did he win a lot? Well, anyway, I'll ask later.
Oh, I'm sure it was like everything else in the movie that I mean, basically Forrest Gump's whole journey was him falling face down into a pile of crap and coming up smelling like a rose.
Yes, exactly. So that's the reason why I was like, was he like a heavyweight champion? You know, it just made more sense. That like
He was
must
the
have been a
dunce.
winner. The dunce. He wrestled the turd. Was it? Did they? Okay, that's interesting.
Did you make that up, or because I didn't know that when I when I drew my correlation? Oh wow,
I mean, I
that's
was not
fun.
expecting- yeah, I wasn't expecting that little bit of trivia.
Yeah, what we're going to talk about tonight, we're going to talk about David. David was born. I mean, not born. He debuted. He debuted in 1977. I can't get the exact date.
For WCCW, right? I mean, like
Right, yeah.
wrestling.
It
Period.
wasn't.
right?
Actually, it was still big time wrestling back in '77.
Okay.
and-
Yes. Yes.
But he made his debut against Gary Hart.
How old was he? 17? Was he 7? How old was he when he debuted? I'm sorry.
He was born in '58, so he was 19.
Okay. I know they're usually like young.
He-
You know,
I
like
think he got hurt playing basketball in college, and that's why he went ahead and became a pro wrestler.
I gotcha.
Anyway, he made his debut against Gary Hart. Gary Hart helped train him.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, that wasn't publicized back then.
Sure.
Gary Hart, and probably much like Skandar Akbar, that had Mike as a first match because he wanted to take care of him.
Yes.
I'm sure Gary Hart probably. Plus, over the next, after David made his debut, he was going to be tag teaming a lot against Gary Hart and Big John Studd and everybody that was in Gary Hart's stable.
Mm-hmm.
David was tag teaming with Fritz. He was tag teaming with Sweet Brown Sugar, Skip Young. And he was tag teaming with Superfly Jimmy Snuka.
Oh, okay.
So he spent a lot of the first month tag teaming. So I put his debut, of course, as the number one because I'm trying to just find 10, the 10 highlights from his career.
Okay.
So he's in a lot of tag matches. Another thing I noticed about him is that he was losing to Killer Carl Krupp a lot, to the point where I was thinking that until he got a little older, that Killer Carl Krupp wouldn't put him over.
That's not Killer Carl Cox, right? That's a different person. Killer
Carl Krupp.
Yeah. Yes, but they're two different people.
Yeah. Killer Carl Krupp was he was a German villain.
Okay.
And I actually only saw him wrestle one time. They brought him in on Saturday Night Wrestling. They were having a big show, and Iceman King Parsons defeated him for the European Heavyweight Championship.
Was he older? Because Fritz.
He was older, yeah. Killer Carl Krupp was older at that point.
Okay. Because Fritz also did the German Nazi kind of.
I say he was older. He's probably in his 40s, and he looked like he was 65. But he
was definitely older. An older generation, I guess.
Yeah, those guys they looked a lot older than they were back then. Number two. Let's see. The number two on the list, I got Harley Race. David brushes up to Harley Race.
Is that Harley in the headlock?
That's Harley in a headlock there. And that is on Wrestling from the Chase.
Okay.
This is actually a handicap match with David and Fritz against Harley Race.
Oh.
But Fritz really, I didn't see Fritz do anything in this match but stand outside the ring and let David do it.
Okay.
But this is later. This match took place a little bit later, but on September 6th of 77, David got a title shot, and Harley Race won.
Sure.
How much? Well, actually, that was before that on May 27th. No, I take that back. You'll have to forgive me. On August 15th of 77, David wrestled Harley on television in a 2 out of 3 falls match, and they went to a 30-minute time limit draw. Then he got a title shot. He got a title shot in Fort Worth, and Harley beat him.
Right.
But
no, Willie.
But this match right here that you see, and David got title shots up until, he'd go work, and he was working Harley a lot. Well, I guess Harley Race really liked him because on May 27th of 79, in this match, Harley Race goes to do a diving headbutt on David off the ropes, and David puts his hand up and gets the claw on Harley, and Harley bleeds like a stuck pig, and David Von Erich beat Harley Race on television in St. Louis on Wrestling at the Kill.
And now, how long after that did he win the Missouri title?
David didn't win the Missouri title until late 1983.
Okay, because I was going to say, what? I thought he did. Okay.
No, all the Von Erich boys won the Missouri championship.
And that was supposed to be a stepping stone, right?
Yes.
For the,
we're going to get there.
Yes, I know. I'm just trying to.
No, you're fine. It's not like trivia. We can jump all around. That's what we do on here. Like right now, Willie Buck's saying that it's Burt Reynolds' birthday.
He's died, right? He's passed away.
He's dead.
I thought so. Well, I hope he's celebrating.
But Burt Reynolds is my all-time favorite actor.
Really?
Yes. Cannonball Run.
I think I knew that.
Smokey and the Bandit, which is the greatest movie ever made.
Yes.
Robert Wells pointing out that David held up his hand covered with Harley's blood. That's my referee. That's my referee buddy that I work with at Bayou.
Yes, I bet that
he's from Dallas too, so he know.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say he's old, but he's one of my peers. So he remembers.
I bet that was quite the spectacle on TV to see David and with the claw and Harley bleeding all over the place.
And
I
hey,
bet
I'm
that
just
was
going to
something
say,
else.
and David hadn't beefed up and filled out at this point. He was
Right.
still, I mean, you're looking at him there. He's kind of skinny.
Right.
I think that tells me that Harley Race thought an awful lot of Fritz and thought an awful lot of David.
Right.
Because he lost the Missouri title to Kerry by disqualification.
Mm.
The disqualification rule, the stipulation was if Race got disqualified, he'd lose the belt.
Right.
And in an interview, he said, I have to put him over every time I go to Texas. I damn sure wasn't going to do it in my hometown. So,
okay. Harley had gotten a little spicy.
but, so crossing paths, I think that really put David working with Harley Race.
Mm-hmm.
I think that contributed to the style. All three Von Erich boys had a very different style.
Mm-hmm.
David was more like his father, more like a fight, in a bar fight. I want David.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin was a scrapper, really agile, and Kerry was a Greek. I mean, built like a, he had charisma, muscles.
Right.
All three of them are distinctly different. But I'm just saying that Harley. I think that getting on Harley Race, working with him as much as he did, could do nothing but make David a much better wrestler. And it legitimized him. Gives him a lot. Sure. I mean, gives him legitimacy right off the bat.
Can't imagine, like I said, what that must have looked like on television to all those fans in St. Louis.
And also at this time, David's working in Georgia.
Okay.
He actually beat Randy Savage in the Omni, and he was doing some time limit draws with Randy Savage. So I mean, he's traveling. I mean, they're getting him out there. He's working Houston. He's working Missouri. They got him over. They got him over there. I wish I could find the Georgia Championship Wrestling to see David on there. Back in the 70s. My collection only goes back to the late 1980. I've got from 80 up.
Oh.
I meant to say that he also wrestled. I don't have the date in front of me. I meant to write it down but he wrestled Madison Square Garden also against Davey O'Hagan.
WWF?
Yes.
Awesome.
Cool. Vince Sr. thought an awful lot of the Von Erichs, so much so that when David dies, he gets a 10-bell salute on a WWF syndicated show. And I mean,
Right. That was, to acknowledge that there was even other wrestlers. Oh, man, look at this.
Yeah, this picture was in 1984.
Yeah, you can tell David is a lot more full. He looks a little bit older, a little bit more muscular, a little bit more, definitely more brutal here.
And the reason I know that this is 1984 when this picture was taken is because David's wearing the yellow trunks with the blue stripe. And he started wearing those around Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
When he wrestled Flair on Christmas. Because I have the yellow trunks with the black stripe.
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's red, white, and blue ropes. It could have been from Missouri. Because I don't remember him wrestling Harley Race in Texas in January.
Mm.
But anyway, here's another one. This is one of the early pictures of David and Race.
Look at that hair.
Yeah.
David's hair, not Harley's. David's hair.
The next one is tag teaming with his brother Kevin, and they became the Texas Tag Team Champions by defeating Killer Brooks and I want to say defeated Killer Brooks and Mark Lewin.
How old were they? Roughly. And I'm throwing asking you questions you weren't ready for. Because he has the same trunks on that first picture
This was in 78.
78.
Yeah, this was in April of 78. Then they'd go on in October to win the American Tag Team Championship from the Funks in 25 minutes. What else? David also was wrestling at this time was wrestling Brody in Houston. Of course, Bruiser Brody.
Bruiser Brody. Okay.
Yeah, they were bringing him in, and he lost to Bruiser Brody in Houston.
Gotcha.
They kept these titles until February of the next year, and they lost it to Mark Lewin in the spoiler, which I'm sure would have been managed by Gary Hart. And just as a side note, on August the 4th of 78, David in Houston wrestled Del Valentine to a 15-minute time limit draw. You want to take a guess? You want to take a guess to who Del Valentine later became?
Greg Valentine.
No. He was billed as Greg's brother.
He was. Okay, don't tell us. Don't tell us. I don't know who.
Freebird Buddy Roberts.
Oh,
Freebird Buddy Roberts.
I think I knew that.
We've talked about it on here before.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
I just thought that was I thought that was pretty neat that they had crossed paths back then.
Yes. It is cool to see all the like you said, the moving.
Yeah. This is a picture from Japan. I was mentioning that Kevin and David tagged. They went over to Japan. They won the All Asian Championship while they were over there. There's a picture of them and Ricky Steamboat.
Yeah.
But they won the All Asian tags. And I always loved how Japan would bring trophies out like when Flair won the belt back from Kerry, they had that big trophy with the big globe. And there's just the way that the Japanese people presented pro wrestling, and still do to some extent. I mean, it just was pretty cool.
The pomp and circumstance it makes it bigger, I think. It's or makes it more prestigious or more bigger, I guess is the right word. I guess I was thinking just
they won they won them in Corkin Hall on May 23rd, and then they lost them on June 11th. So they won them at the beginning of the tour. They dropped them on their way out.
Sure.
I'm not going to butcher up those names. They also won the NWA World Tag Team titles from Ali Mustafa and Hercules Alala on February 22nd of 1981.
In Japan, where were they?
No, that was in Texas.
Oh, in Texas. Okay.
Yeah.
But just even like in this picture,
there was multiple versions of the NWA World Tag Team titles in the early 80s.
But I like how even in this picture, you're talking about the presentation from the Japanese. There's the lady, she's got the flowers, like you said, the winner, like it's a big do, so it's very interesting.
The number 4 thing, becoming the Texas heavyweight champion. This was a big deal. David Von Erich held the Texas heavyweight championship. At the time, it was a record when he died 8 times.
Mm-hmm.
And until 2009? Nope. Until Kevin Northcutt won it on the 9th time, that record stood. So it stood from 1984 until 2009. The referee for that match in 2009 was none other than yours truly.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I was madder than hell.
I better say, why would
Kevin Northcutt beat Spoiler 2000?
Yeah.
And
but why take that away from David Von Erich?
Well, no. Well, yeah, but I mean that's not I'm not worried about that part. It was just that Spoiler 2000, I really like him, and Northcutt didn't give him anything in the match, blew up and wanted to go home early. So he got his shit in, didn't let Spoiler get his shit in, and it made me mad.
I bet.
And I say that on here, not giving a shit if it gets back to Northcutt, because that's what happened. That's what happened.
He sounds like a real winner.
Well, in the record books, it says he
is.
is.
And to take that record away from
the Texas Heavyweight Championship is back. It's recognized in the NWA under Billy Corgan, and then maybe,
Does someone have it now? Is someone holding it?
Izzy James.
A female, or is that a male? It's a male.
He's a male. Yeah.
Izzy
James.
Okay. Sorry.
He used to wrestle as Gregory James, but I've been refereeing for him for 17 years. Incredible talent. Incredibly talented young man. But David winning the Texas Championship, you want to take a wild guess at who he beat for his first Texas Heavyweight Championship?
Dory Funk Jr.
Nope. Somebody you would never expect to take the pin at the Sportatorium.
Fritz.
Bruiser Brody.
He
defeated Bruiser Brody. Let's keep on going. There's a good picture of him a little bit later. I love this version of the Texas Championship, but you never saw this belt at the Sportatorium. After 82, when I started going, this belt would show up at Fort Worth. But at Texas, in Dallas, they would use one of them that looked like the world-class American Championship or one of the tag belts.
Yeah.
That different style of belt they use that for everything. And it just always struck me that belt, David, and the rumor is that David's buried with that belt.
That is kind of weird. Like, wonder why.
Yeah, I never understood why he would have that in Fort Worth, and it would be on TV in Fort Worth, but in Dallas, I never saw that belt in Dallas.
Interesting. I did not know that. So you think he's buried with it? Makes sense if he was.
We call this style of belt a Molkovic. Nikita Molchovic. I know I'm butchering that up. I mean, the tag belts were that way. Everybody had belts. I mean, that was just kind of like, if you'll notice, the Southern belt was like the world class belt. That was like like the Mississippi belt, like the Missouri, Louisiana. Everybody used the same style belts nationwide.
What did you call this style?
Molkovic. It's a cast belt. It was made by Nikita Molkovic.
So that's his name. Okay.
Yeah, and so and he had, he casted those belts.
Sure.
Like the Rock and Roll Express and Midnight Express's NWA World Tag Team belts.
Okay. Okay. That's cool.
My number five, one of his highlights would have been David and Kevin starting to go to Japan, which we covered in the tag teaming. They became very, very huge. I mean, Von Erichs were an attraction in Japan. They had great success over there. My number 6 is Ric Flair. Ric Flair on November 20th of 1980. Ric Flair beat David Von Erich 2-1 in 33 minutes and 10 seconds in the Kiel Auditorium. Starting to work with Ric Flair and chasing Ric Flair for the championship. They started working a lot. Ric Flair actually beat David Von Erich in the Missouri Championship tournament in 1983. And he won the Missouri title. And then he lost the Missouri title to David and went and got the world title back from Harley. See how that works?
Yes.
So David beat Ric Flair for the Missouri Championship.
Okay, that's who. Yes.
So
Have you ever had an opportunity to talk to Ric Flair about working with David? As I just
yeah, I've
as
asked
much.
him several times. He thought David was great.
Hmm.
Tells a story about partying with David and then taking all of David's clothes and his car keys and
Oh,
leaving him there butt
okay.
naked and leaving him there butt naked in the hotel. And David had to come out wearing I think the shower curtain. But no, he liked working with David. So, uh, uh, so I think him crossing paths with David would be like the next highlight and the next progression in his career.
Hmm.
And then he goes to Florida. And out of all the 10 highlights of his career, I think his time in Florida, may be I think that's the most important part of his wrestling career.
Uh-huh.
Because I truly believe that David was groomed to be the world heavyweight champion.
Yes.
He had all the tools for it. He could cut a promo. He could wrestle any style. David wrestled like a heel, always.
Uh-huh.
They never acknowledged him as being a rule breaker in Florida once he came back, but they did say that he wrestled a lot tougher in Florida. Andrew says Japanese fans take that shit more seriously than Fritz. He also says that the Missouri champ was always going to be the real number one contender.
Yes.
So I credit David's time in Florida. I think that was his finishing school. I think that was his finishing school. He started in 77. They put him in there with Race. I mean, David was wrestling all kinds of. Let me just go back.
Mm-hmm.
Let me go back and just tell you some. In 1978, he was wrestling Killer Brooks, Killer Carl Krupp. He wrestled Boris Malenko. He was tag teaming with Jay Youngblood. He was wrestling Dick Murdoch. He was wrestling Brute Bernard, Johnny Valiant. He wrestled JJ, Doug Summers, Buzz Tyler. Then he crossed paths with Gino Hernandez. That's important at 78.
Yep.
March 31st of 78 is when he crossed paths with Gino Hernandez, which went on to be one of his greatest opponents. They traded that Texas title regularly. He was wrestling Jimmy Valiant, Bruiser Brody, Bad Leroy Brown. I mean, he was in there with the Funk Brothers. He was wrestling Dory and Terry regularly.
One of those generational talents, they talk about sometimes. I mean, he really could have been.
I'm just he wrestled and he went to San Antonio and tag teamed with Ivan Putski and got and they got disqualified against Dale Valentine, Buddy Roberts and Tully Blanchard.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But he was getting time in the ring with Tully Blanchard.
Gonna have to ask you about that.
Just, he was progressing.
Yes.
I mean, and traveling. Bulldog Brown.
Who was Bulldog Brown? I didn't. Where was he?
Brown was big in the Midwest.
Midwest. Okay.
He's making regular trips to Amarillo. He was, wrestling Bull Ramus. I'm trying to find his Florida time to give you just some ideas of who he was wrestling once he got to Florida. We know from trivia that on 12/26 of 1981, He defeated Jack Briscoe for the Southern title. Him and Dory won the North American Tag Team titles from Butch Reed. They lost them to Butch Reed and Sweet Brown Sugar. He won the Florida TV belt from Sweet Brown Sugar. And I also noted that he tag teamed with J.J. Dillon and Jimmy Garvin. And then he flipped face before he left and went and then feuded with Dory Funk. But I mean, while he was there, he was wrestling. Where's Florida? He was wrestling Coco Samoa, Jack Briscoe. He was wrestling Dusty Rhodes, Barry Windham, Mike Graham. He wrestled Mike Graham, Mr. Wrestling 2, Eric Embry, Ron Ritchie, both the Briscoe brothers, Mike Graham, Butch Reed, Sweet Brown Sugar, El Gran Apollo,
Who?
Buzz Tyler. So I mean, David was doing work, and then B. Brian Blair, of course, Steve Kern, and then once him and Dory fell out, then he started wrestling Dory. He lost a Texas death match to Butch Reed
In Florida?
He was wrestling Jerry Lawler in Florida.
Really?
I'm trying to find where he wrapped up. He finished up late summer. He dropped the Southern title to Derek Draper, who I would have to throw into my Google machine because I've never heard of it. So you can tell he was on his way out.
Young and upcoming.
J. Dillon, and then Dory Funk beat him. And that was it. I mean, Dory Funk beat him on his way out. So then he makes his return. Then he makes his return to Texas. And his last match in Florida was July 18th, and on the 15th of August of 1982, which, by the way, was my first time to ever attend the wrestling matches live. I mean, it was my first time.
Yeah.
Him and Kevin beat Kabuki and the Magic Dragon for the All Asian titles.
Did they say like where he had been? Like, did they get? I mean, like when he came back to the Sportatorium, like were they like?
Yeah, they said he's back from Florida. He'd been touring.
Did say okay. I didn't know like if they, like he was.
Yeah,
in Japan.
They never. Yeah, they shied away from him being a rule breaker. But
okay. Well, I just didn't know like if they would say he's been on, like not make something up, but just be like, oh, he's been in Japan for 8 months or whatever. I didn't know.
No. And he was still making shots in Texas. I mean, he was at Fritz's retirement match in July.
Okay.
I mean, he was traveling, and there was times that, it wasn't July, it was June 4th. But then he'd go back to Florida. But he was also wrestling in Missouri at that time. He was still traveling.
Okay, I got you.
So he sprinkled into Texas every now and then while he was there. I would love to see the bull rope match with him and Dusty Rhodes. But
where did that take place? Florida?
Florida, yeah. I just had it. At the Lakeland, Florida, at the Civic Center, June 5th, 1982. And then Kerry came in on June 12th, and they defeated Crusher Blackwell and Kim Patera. I'll take that back. That was the Checker Dome. Anyway, David returns right off the bat. Him and Kevin win the All Asian Tag titles, and then he gets the Texas Heavyweight Championship back from Bill Irwin.
Wild Bill
Irwin. And then he's kind of feuding with King Kong Bundy, and Uh, they're kind of feuding with Gary Hart and Armand Hussein's not Devastation, H&H Enterprises.
Mm-hmm.
And this will go on. Nothing big going on really up until Christmas. I say that after he returned home, that was big. And now we're going to focus. Now we're going to focus on the World Heavyweight Championship.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's starting to wrestle Ric Flair. He's starting to chase the World Heavyweight Champion. But the first thing that he does is, as part of his returning home, is on Christmas night, he not only defended successfully the Texas Heavyweight Championship, he was a replacement for Buddy Roberts for the Freebirds in the finals of the World Six-Man Tag Team Championships.
We watched this.
We've
watched that.
Huh?
We've watched that here, haven't we?
Yeah, and not only did he replace Buddy Roberts, he actually won the six-man tag team titles for the Freebirds.
Yep, I remember that.
And in doing so, oh, there we go. There's Florida, Amy.
There's the
said roach
what do you
clips.
call them?
Roach clips. So then, as soon as the match was over, he relinquishes his third of the tag team of the six-man belts. And there's foreshadowing right there that we didn't know in the arena at the time that Michael Hayes felt a certain way about it. But that's the foreshadowing that sent him as being a special referee with a bad mood later that night. But he just said, hey, I'm going to give my third to your brother, Buddy Roberts, and I'll be with my brothers as challengers. So, and of course, there's a picture of all three of the boys.
Yep. Look at that.
This is where he's going, his focus on the NWA title.
Yeah.
We're having the Von Erich Freebird feud early in '83. You are correct, sir. Anyway, we got the Von Erich Freebird feud going full blast. He's wrestling Freebirds. He's also lost the Texas title to Jimmy Garvin, and they're feuding over that. The belt's being held up constantly because of the interference. And so that feud's going on most of the year. And after the Harley Race regains the championship, David goes down to check on Kevin because Kevin's hurt. And Harley Race just sticks his foot through the ropes and kicks David in the head. And David jumps in the ring and beats Harley's ass. And now David's focused on, I'm going to be the World Heavyweight Champion, and he's coming for Harley Race.
Uh-huh.
And that from May for the rest of the summer, he's mixing his time in Texas, but he's also in Florida. In Missouri. And Harley Race winning the world title vacated the Missouri title. Like I said, they had a tournament, and Ric Flair defeated David in the finals.
And can I say, go back to that picture? When in the 70s, 80s, when these people are, when you have your photographers around the stage or, around the ring, like they're clicking. Like, it's not like now where you can sit there and just hold it, and you get good pictures. Or
they're probably still winding them.
Exactly. One of the 100 that you took is fabulous. Like, this is such a great shot that they wouldn't even known they got until they got back to the dark room and developed their film.
Oh, 100%. That's a great point, Amy. We don't think about that anymore.
No, I just think what an amazing shot. And it just how lucky he was, whoever this photographer is, got it. Because, again, you just didn't know until you got to the dark room.
And David used the high knee.
Mm-hmm.
David used the high knee a lot. But David was focusing on that. Then Rick regains the title, and David wrestles Rick on Christmas night of 1983. Rick keeps trying to get himself disqualified.
Mm-hmm.
David Manning's not having it. He's refusing to disqualify him.
Mm-hmm.
And Rick's angry because David Manning won't disqualify him.
Right.
So finally, he reaches out and he grabs the hammer that rings the bell and he pops David in the head with it. And Manning has no choice but to disqualify him. And, it's so intentional that that's what the champion did.
Mm-hmm.
So we go on after Christmas, and this is important to the story that we've talked about with the Missouri Championship, is that on January the 6th, Harley Race defeats David Von Erich for the Missouri Championship. Well, normally after somebody loses the Missouri belt, if that's kind of like, all right, we're going for the world. They have another Star Wars event in Fort Worth, Texas on the 30th.
Mm-hmm.
And
you could go to the next picture. I'm sorry. Remember, we came back to this one.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry.
Ric Flair had made some comments about Mike.
Mm.
And David came to his brother's defense and said, because Flair said something about Mike wouldn't last 10 minutes with him.
Right.
David said, I don't think he'll only just last 10 minutes with you. I think he can beat you. But if you can go, if Mike lasts 10 minutes with you, I get a title shot. I get to name the time, the place, the stipulations.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can beat Mike in 10 minutes, I'll never challenge you for the world title again.
Man,
let me tell you,
on Mike.
Ric Flair showed up to Fort Worth, Texas, and made Mike Von Erich look like a star.
Mm-hmm.
I was there. And I'm telling you, he made Mike. We thought Mike was going to get a win.
Mm-hmm.
So it's also important to note that Ric Flair was doing for Mike what Harley Race did for David.
Now, let me ask you a question.
Because Mike had just debuted at Thanksgiving.
Right. Okay, keep going. I'm sorry. I'll ask my question in a second.
No, go ahead.
Well, I think it goes. Okay. So say that again. So Kevin said that if Ric Flair could
David said if Rick could beat Mike in 10 minutes.
David said if Rick could beat Mike in 10 minutes, he would never challenge for the title.
As long as he never challenged Ric Flair for the title again.
Okay. And then Mike wrestled Ric Flair in Fort Worth.
Right.
Did he win?
No, he went to a 10-minute draw.
But was that the same as a win?
Yeah, that's all he had to do was last 10 minutes.
Okay, that's what I thought, but I wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if my memory serves me, Flair got the figure 4 on him and Mike didn't give up.
Now let me
so
ask
I think
you,
David had to get in and get the figure 4 off of him after the match.
Well, let me ask you this. Like, Mike wasn't, though, as good of a wrestler as David. Like, is it really like how Harley did David?
Well, Mike was only in the business for, he was in 2 months. He was only in for 2 months at this point.
Okay. You're just saying that he didn't make, okay.
I genuinely believe that Mike Von Erich, had he not contracted the toxic shock syndrome,
true,
he would have eventually put on size like David.
Right.
And he had that style of wrestling a lot like David. He was kind of a combination of David and Kevin. He was starting to get good on the mic too. I think that Mike Von Erich in a few years could have possibly, we saw him when he was still developing and he was real young, and then he got sick, and we don't ever know what he was going to be then.
How soon after David died did he contract toxic shock syndrome?
Oh, I think it was 2 years.
Okay.
No, 80. I think he got it in 85. David died in 84. I think Mike got it late 85.
Okay. So
mid 85, April of 85, maybe.
How did Mike do after David died? like wrestling wise? Was he? I guess was
He got a crash course in wrestling. He was the third Von Erich brother, and they were pushing him pretty hard.
Do you think did they push him? Okay. I guess I'm just trying to. I don't know what. I guess I'm trying to think of like. We don't talk a lot about Mike. I do understand that's probably because of his unfortunate, contraction of the TSS that really derailed him. But I just wondered, was he kind of on that trajectory? He was, like after David died, was he more not really wanting to wrestle? Like I mean,
No.
your brother died. I just didn't know.
No, I think Cord Akbar, he didn't want to wrestle anyway.
Right. That's right. He didn't really.
No, I mean, he stepped up and he got better.
Right.
Mike got better.
But you're right. I remember that now. It wasn't. He was a musician. He wanted to be a musician.
But no, throughout '84, he got better.
Right. Okay.
It's very possible it happened, and I'm not aware of it. But did the Von Erich boys ever venture to Portland? Willie, I didn't see Portland. I can't imagine that they didn't go up and work for Don Owens though, because a lot of the Portland guys came to Dallas.
And our friend TJ Stevens has actually the Portland Wrestling Library.
I'll get that answer for you. I'll go through the Von Erich's cage match to see if I can find that they ever appeared up there.
And then maybe.
I mean, Kerry may have.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if WWE was going to Portland back then.
Matt Bourne.
When they went national, I know that they for some reason they weren't going to Portland. Took a while. It's a good question. I can't imagine that at some point, because I mean I know that they would wrestle for the Rock's grandmother.
Yeah, on their way to Japan.
On the way, yeah, to and from Japan or something. But so they were in that. I mean, they were towards the west.
Right.
It's a good question. I'll try to find out for you because now I'm kind of curious too.
Never go to Cow Palace? Do you think? Do you think they ever did anything like out there?
I don't know.
Interesting. Yeah. To know if they worked the West Coast.
I don't know if they ever worked for AWA. You would think that with Fritz being a former AWA champion, of course Fritz was an NWA member, so he may not have been sharing them with the AWA. I mean, the boys only went to work Madison Square Garden. Kevin and David went up and worked Madison Square Garden for Vince Sr., but he was a member of the NWA.
Was Don Owens a member of the NWA?
Yeah.
He was? Okay. For how long? In the 80s, you think? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't think he was.
Anyway.
But I don't know.
So on January 30th, David gets his stipulations.
Mm-hmm.
We got Flair where we want him. We've lost the Missouri title. We got Flair where we want him. So now we're going to find out. And it wasn't named. I mean, I think the stipulation was good. I think he did say the stipulation was going to be if you get disqualified, the championship changes hands.
Right. So do you think this is...
Or it could have been a no disqualification situation.
Do you think that the wrestling Mike, was that probably something Fritz had something to do with? Like making that a stipulation, like you have to wrestle Mike to get the title shot?
It was not uncommon to have those kind of stipulations in all the territories. It's just a recycled angle.
But I mean, for it to be Mike and, because he was the youngest kind of thing. What I mean?
Yeah, they were. And
garnish some.
Flair was shining up Mike.
Right. Okay.
Without having to put him over. But he shined him up and they went 10 minutes. I mean, you're 2 months in and you're going 10 minutes with the world heavyweight champion.
Right. Right. Okay.
So then on February the 3rd, just 4 days later, David Von Erich wrestles Terry Gordy at the Sportatorium. And the NWA ordered Michael Hayes, who had just won the All-Asian title, the NWA United National, but they called it the All-Asian Championship. ordered Michael Hayes to defend the title against David Von Erich.
The
And David
NWA
Von
did?
Erich-
Is that what you said? The NWA said to do that?
Yeah,
Okay.
they ordered Michael Hayes to defend the championship.
Okay.
So
Is that something they normally would do? Or was this an angle?
actually, David was scheduled to wrestle Buddy Roberts that night. No, Kevin was scheduled to wrestle Buddy Roberts that night, and Kevin was hurt or something.
Okay.
So David filled in for him, and then Terry Gordy came out and said that that's not what Buddy signed up for, and he jumped in and took over for. So it was David and Terry Gordy.
Okay.
But the reason they did it is David was leaving to go on a tour of Japan.
Right.
So David was getting the belt from Michael Hayes to take it back over to Japan.
I gotcha. Makes
If
sense.
I was a betting man, I would say that David probably wasn't leaving Japan with that belt.
Makes
He probably
sense.
would have done his tour and dropped it at the end, or, it's depending on if he had another tour scheduled.
Okay. That makes sense.
I think Michael Hayes, somebody won it and dropped it to Hayes. Hayes brought it to Texas and dropped it to David. And
David took it back.
David took it back
to Japan. I got you.
Yeah. See how that works?
Yes. I like it.
But so David hits the ropes, and comes off the ropes with the iron claw and beats Michael Hayes in the middle of the ring with the iron claw in his last match at the Sportatorium. I was in attendance that night. The Texas State Athletic Commissioner had invited me to come as his guest.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "Come on down, I'll get you in." So that night, I got to go in the same door the wrestlers come in the front of the Sportatorium. I didn't get to go in the locker room, but there's like a hallway going from the door to the door that goes out into the Sportatorium.
Right.
I was standing there waiting for the commissioner to take me out there. David Von Erich comes walking in with a bottle of wild turkey.
Wild turkey.
He had a bottle of wild turkey, but he spoke to me and I got to shake his hand.
Awesome.
I mean, just in passing, we didn't talk. I got to shake his hand, and my seat sucked that night. That was not the ticket that I was accustomed to getting, but it was free.
Yeah, I was gonna say you just
but
said
it was free, and Ric Flair was there.
Mm-hmm.
Not Ric Flair. Not Ric Flair.
Bruiser Brody.
Actually, I think Ric Flair was there against Chris Adams that night. I'd have to go look. I could be wrong about that. It starts running together. But I do know I got to go, and it was pretty cool. No, Ric Flair was there that night because he rode with David Manning. I saw, yeah.
So you got to see David's last match in America, and before he died, right?
I think his last match was. I think he wrestled Kamala before he went over there.
Yeah, I think we did talk about that, didn't we?
But I saw his last match in Dallas, and then a week later he was dead. Which
they still don't really know what happened, do they? In all honesty,
the autopsy report said enteritis of the lower intestine. I'm not saying that he didn't partake.
Sure.
But I'm saying that he had something that gave him flu-like symptoms and he dehydrated.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at this time, Paul McCartney got locked up in Japan for marijuana.
Right.
So if they're willing to lock up a Beatle, I don't think they're going to fudge an autopsy for a wrestler.
No, I wouldn't thought that they were fudging autopsy. Number one, that's not what I was thinking. I just, like, most people don't pass from the stomach flu. So I just wondered, like, if there was anything else. And you can have an autopsy that's not necessarily, it was one of the longest lasting. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You can have all types of, there are different types of autopsies and what you do at them, like, I'm just curious.
Yeah.
That's it. It just seems kind of odd, but anyway, I don't know. I've been sleuthing with Nancy Guthrie, so I've got my what do you say? My aluminum foil hat on, trying to figure it all out.
But David Von Erich was a man and a half. He was my favorite. He was my favorite of the Von Erichs. He was double tough. He was entertaining. He was. I mean, I really thought that. I mean, I that's the first time a celebrity death that had hit me.
Mm-hmm.
It hit me. I skipped school, went to his funeral. Me and the little girl I was dating at the time, we went to the funeral. And a fun fact, I didn't go to the graveside,
Mm-hmm.
but I did go to the funeral. I actually got in the church, sat in the balcony. But I took my mother to it's Grove Hill Cemetery in Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
And we were there, and I'd never gone out there and looked for their graves. I don't do that.
Right.
But when I go to a graveyard, I normally look at the tombstones, the dates.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm fascinated by the dates, born and died. So I'm looking around at the tombstones while my mom's tending to, cleaning up her parents' graves. And I'm just walking around, and I mean, I'm not 50 feet away from my mom. And I look down, and the Von Erichs are buried about 50 feet away from my grandparents. Found them completely on an accident. Just walking around looking at dates.
Right.
I don't like to go. I don't like to go to graveyards.
Yeah. Did he have okay, when I think of a funeral, or when we have here up here, I guess, when someone passes away, we have visitation, and then you have the funeral, right? So visitation is when you go and pay your respects. Did they do that for him? Did they have a
If
visitation?
they did, it was not open to the public.
Okay, I didn't know. So they only had a funeral kind of open to the public. I'm assuming the casket was
welcome
shut.
to come, and they had speakers outside the church so that you could hear. There wasn't like video or anything.
Right. Did they have the casket was in there?
Casket was in there. It was closed.
It was closed.
I think it was closed. I was in the balcony. I couldn't have seen anyway, but
right.
Casket.
I think most of the time at the funeral part anyway.
But we didn't get to normally at a funeral.
Closed.
Everybody gets to walk down and pay their respects to the family, and then look at the body one last time. And they didn't do that. Right.
Well, yeah, they'd still be there at this point, right? I mean, I can imagine. And plus too, I mean, he had a young child, right? He had a young child, didn't he?
Yeah, he had I think he had one child die of SIDS.
Yes, with his first.
Yeah, he had one child die of SIDS.
But
and then he has a daughter.
That's what I thought. So I mean, there's son. I mean, this was the first death of. Well, not really, because I already had a son pass away, but I
never knew about his daughter that died of SIDS until years and years and years later.
Sure, I'm sure that would. Yeah, I mean, just another unfortunate tragedy for this poor family.
Yeah,
to have to deal with. Tim says his grandparents were there too.
Yep,
that's pretty cool.
Anyway,
I'm also like that. I do like going to, I don't mind going to graveyards. I do also like to look at the years because at where we are, we have our graveyard's very old. And so and we have some Civil War battlefield kind of things around.
Oh yeah.
Kind of small.
The whole town is a Civil War battlefield here.
Oh, well, yes. And like you said, you sit there and you think about, wonder what happened. And, when you see something, a young person or, or someone, born 1889 to, 1960, you're just like what they all saw in their lifetime. It's kind of crazy. So
anyway. Andrew, what's your topic on the TNA top 10? What's the upcoming topic?
Whoever.
Yeah, one of y'all tell me what the topic is. But while you're doing that, we're going to talk about Big Time Belts. Big Time Belts, Facebook.com. I don't have a picture of it. I just want to say that Muhammad Zubair made a replica of the Texas Heavyweight Championship.
Uh-huh.
And it's the best one I've ever seen because nobody ever gets the leather right on them. And normally the main plate looks like ass.
Uh-huh.
His looks really good. Anyway,
I like
speaking
this
of
belt.
looking really good, here's the big gold belt.
Yes.
Most iconic belt in wrestling history. If you don't have a big gold belt in your collection's second best, no matter what you tell yourself. Woo!
I like that belt.
The Pinhead Hellraiser Championship. Big Time Belts doing custom belts. They did one for CVS and Aetna.
That is so great. Like to think that, I mean, belts are that popular that people want to do something with it, promote their business or their program or their athletes, whatever. That is just so cool. Family.
Here's the gingerbread house championship.
I love it. Ooh.
Our friend Russ Miller. What is Russ, Amy?
He's a bitch.
He's a bitch. He's a bitch with UWX belts, though. He made one that looked like the UWF, and then this Atlantic States belt, though. I like it a lot. I really dig it. The women's Empire champion with the names on the side plates, the white leather.
Yes, I like that.
I love this belt. And I love that Big Time Belts actually gave him a bag, shipped it in a custom bag for him.
That's pretty cool. I like that belt.
Tim Robbins cannot wait to get his new belt, and I can't wait to show it to you. In the immortal words of Michael Hayes, it's bad to the bone, and I'm not teasing. 10 pounds of silver greater than the big gold, and I will die on that hill.
Ooh.
We can debate that later. I'm not saying that. I'm saying when you look at a belt that was used longer and who had the most iconic champions hold it. I mean, for me, the 10 pounds of gold is the Yoda of my collection.
Yeah.
But the big gold is what the big gold is. And one of your trivia questions can be, who's one of the few active referees that ever held it in a match situation in the 2000s? And that would be me. Because I had it at ringside at Rick's match. There's Billy Gullett.
Hey, yeah.
Billy Gullett with his custom Louisiana belt. Billy's got his belt addiction cranked up with Big Time Belts. Big Time Belts, Facebook.com. High quality, low prices. I'm telling you, you can get you a wrestling belt of high quality for under $300 shipped.
Mm-hmm.
Under $300 shipped will get you a belt. Under $400 shipped will get you even a better belt. I mean, the sky's the limit. If you can dream it, he can make it. I can't wait till next week to show you Tim Robinson's belts.
Yay!
There's a lot. Anyway, join the group on Facebook. We can get you taken care of. Big Time Belts. Thank y'all for constantly supporting our podcast. Now let's do some plugs. Drunken Pop. They hit play every now and then, but it's if you like pop culture, they got you covered. They recently did December of 1995. It was a pretty fun episode of TJ, Dollar Dave, Timmy C. They're making it happen with Drunken Pop.
Mm-hmm.
The TNA Top 10, which I affectionately refer to as the best show on our network. It's appointment television when they come on Sunday nights. I was very disappointed that they did not go head-to-head against Super Bowl this week.
That would have been the third halftime show you could have been watching, right? No.
Anyway, this week they're going to continue their music theme and with Pixar songs from Pixar movies.
Love it. I love the songs. How about you?
When you see the polls posted, vote on them. The more that you vote on them, the better the content is on the show. They're going to talk about baseball. They're going to talk about college football. Andrew hates Matt Rule. He'll let you know.
Yes, he will.
I think we should debate one of these days. Does he hate Matt Rule as much as I hate LSU? Anyway,
I don't know. Andrew's hate can go deep, so I'm just saying.
Terry said we skipped officially because Cyrus played in Tennessee Sunday, not the Super Bowl.
Yes, they did.
Then you are forgiven. Andrew said we're not competing against Bad Bunny. All right, I'll open that can of worms, Amy.
Okay.
You watch a halftime show?
Yes.
I kind of dug the vibe. I didn't know what the hell he was saying.
I mean,
but I kind of dug the vibe of the show.
To be fair and honest, for me, halftime show is it's on in the background, and you're getting food or you're doing whatever. Yeah. That's what I did this year. That's what I did 10 years ago at the halftime show. You know, like I didn't do. You know, I did my same status quo. I like it, but it's like having the radio on. You know, like that's fine. Now, I probably was a little bit more animated when it was Snoop Dogg and 50 Cent and, you know, Eminem when they had their halftime show.
Oh, I'm telling you, I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it, but it's not top 40 for me.
Right. I mean, I treated it, more than anything, I hate that it's like, really, we're going to politicize the halftime show?
It had nothing to do with it. And hey, the only thing I understood that he said during the whole damn show was God bless America.
I mean, but you know, I just hate all of this stuff where it's like, if you like green, then you must be a Republican. And if you like purple, you know, like this is the dumbest damn thing I've ever heard.
I'm just saying that I didn't feel like changing the channel. And and also, here's another thing is that those of us that were watching the game, that's fine. This man has 51.7 million followers on YouTube alone. That ain't counting all the others. The very top video that came up when I searched him on YouTube had over 1 billion views, billion with a B. So he did the NFL did him no favors putting him on the halftime show. He did the NFL a solid by being there because he got more. He brought eyes. If they stayed and watched into the game, it was a win. But if they came just to watch the halftime show, it was a win for the NFL. WWE, the same thing. He showed up for WWE. He learned how to wrestle. He didn't embarrass himself. Yes. But he did more for WWE than WWE did for him.
Right.
That's like, hey, I'd love to see George Strait on the Super Bowl halftime show because I love George Strait. That'd be great. But everybody that likes George Strait was probably already watching the damn show anyway, watching the game anyway. This was a business decision. It was a business decision, plain and simple. And like I said, I thought it had a good vibe. Didn't understand shit he said. Kind of thought it was cool that a couple got married on there.
Yeah, that was cute. I like that.
Who don't think Lady Gaga don't sing like an angel?
Right. She looked very pretty too. I mean, this is the kind of stuff I'm thinking about. She looked very pretty. You know, again, I treated it like it was a normal halftime show without all the hoop and holla that, you know, and because that's what it was to me. I listened just like I've done every year. You get your food, you do whatever, but that is what it is to me. I'm not I really, like I said, I really do not like how everything is politicized. I think we've got to stop that as a country. That would be the only thing I say about it. I really do hate that. Yeah. And why are we, it hurts my head.
Yeah. Darian Staley said he'd love to see Ronnie Millsap on the halftime show. Ronnie Millsap would love to see it too.
I knew you were going to say that.
I couldn't wait. I was chomping at the bit.
I know. I'm so glad I didn't want to step on that. Well, I knew you were waiting for it.
For this quick hour show tonight, we went 1 hour and 40. So
yeah, there's a lot. I mean, like I said, just so much is in the news besides politics. You know, you had, like I said, James Vanderbeek passed away, and we had the Nancy Guthrie saga, and just, it's been crazy. And I haven't seen you in a few weeks, so I had to tell you about Aaron and all that good stuff.
You want to talk about Arn Anderson next week?
I would love to talk about Arn
We're going to
Anderson.
talk about Arn Anderson next week.
Okay.
I'm going to be honest with y'all.
Okay.
I'm not excited about the current wrestling product.
Oh, I didn't know what you were going to say.
No, I mean, I'm watching some stuff in clips, and I might go watch. I try watching WWE. I don't want to talk about current wrestling. I mean, I'm into the indies.
Mm-hmm.
I'm into the indie stuff. And to answer Willie Buck's question, I'm not refereeing again until a week from Saturday. I'll be in Sharon, Mississippi for SWA. Then I'll be in West Monroe the 7th of March. I'll be in Minden, Louisiana on the 14th of March. So what I'm saying is I enjoy talking about the indies. I enjoy talking about the old stuff. I want to get back into the anatomy matches, like we did with the cage matches and the chain matches.
Yes.
I want to do more of that because, I mean, I can tell you that Roman Reigns and CM Punk's WrestleMania promo excited me.
Oh my God, yes. That was great.
That was good.
Because I hate you.
and hey, and when I saw Andrade beat Kenny Omega and I saw Andrade beat Swerve, I like it, but I don't want to watch it. I just don't. It don't. Y'all can get that. The wrestling scene is being discussed. The current stuff's being discussed everywhere. We're going to keep on going back, talking about the classic stuff. We need to get TJ on here to talk about Portland wrestling.
Yes, we do.
Because he's got that whole library. We can use it. So,
I have to find when he's off.
That's what the direction is going to be. So we talk about all my favorites, but we've been doing this show for 3 years, and all we've ever talked about Arn, other than announcing him, is that she's the first lady of the Arn Anderson fan club. So let's do a deep dive on Arn next week. And you pick so many of his career highlights.
Okay.
Let's do a retrospect on him, and you drive the ship next week.
Okay. I got you.
And we'll do that next Tuesday right here on Talking Wrestling with Pondwater and Amy, exclusively on the Markout Moments Network. Good night.
Talking wrestling, time to go. Thanks for watching our epic show. See you next week, same time, same place. Markout Moments is your happy